Hello, everyone. Thanks for pressing play. We're looking at the new comics for June 26, 2013. Stay tuned. Hey, thanks for pressing play. He's Randy. I'm Chris. We're Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana. We are talking comics this week. There's a huge week of comics.
Massive.
It's a huge list, and we're not going to cover everything, but we're gonna highlight some of the top comics, or at least that we feel are the top comics to check out, ones that we're most interested in for the week, and keep it rolling from there.
Right.
Started off though with I do want to address some of our hometown folks here in Shreveport and regular customers here to our store. Want to send our condolences to Gary Bradbury and Ronald Schaefer. They lost loved ones this past weekend. Our thoughts and prayers are out to them. And on a comic-related note, we want to give a shout-out to James Kelly. He had one of his letters published in Ultimate Spider-Man number 24.
That's right.
So that's cool. I've never had a letter published in a comic book. He has. He says he got in on Powers years ago with a very special issue. I'll let him tell you about that when you come in the shop.
Sure.
But our thoughts and prayers with Gary and Ronald, and of course, congratulations to James Kelly for having that done. And with that out of the way, we are here to talk comics. And I'm going to start off with another big push by DC Comics this week. And that is Batman Superman is returning. I can't say returning. The previous incarnation of this was Superman Batman.
Right.
This is now Batman Superman, which teams up the new DC 52 Batman and Superman in the new DC 52 universe. Written by Greg Pak with art by Jay Lee. And this takes a look at them in their early years of actually being a superhero, and then them actually getting to meet each other and learn more about each other and find out if they should be keeping an eye on each other or not.
Right. I think, it's going to be interested in who this other superhero is, or vigilante in Batman's case, and eventually I guess it will form a friendship, although if you've been reading the Justice League, that friendship is not exactly the same kind that was built over many decades in the previous incarnation of the DC universe.
Right.
So it'll be a little different, and people should dig it.
And just a quick aside, of course, with the success of Man of Steel, DC's decided later on this year to give us another team up, and we've got a new Superman Wonder Woman book coming out later this year.
I had not heard that one.
Yeah, coming out later this year. I'll have more details about that. I know Tony Daniel's drawing it. I can't remember who's. Charles Soule is writing it.
Oh, okay, one of their
he's one of the staple
go-to
writers.
guys now. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's on Red Lanterns. He's done other stuff.
Swamp Thing.
Yep, Swamp Thing. So just a little aside there, but Batman, Superman, number 1 out this week. I'm expecting the artwork to look awesome. I think Jay Lee's really a kind of a different choice for such heroics, but he'll do a killer Batman.
Right. For the people who aren't familiar, he just finished up the Ozymandias Before Watchmen story there. Was also the cover artist for a long time on multiple books, I think, with Dynamite and different companies like that. But speaking of which, the Ozymandias and Crimson Corsair Before Watchmen Deluxe Edition will be coming out this week, as well as the Minutemen Silk Spectre Deluxe Edition. So we're going to have our first wave of the Before Watchmen hardcovers. Those are going to be out there for people who loved the hardcover for your collection, or who were waiting, weren't really sure, wanting to see what the reviews were like. They were some smashingly good reviews, I think, overall for Before Watchmen. So this is just the beginning of those not trade paperback, hardcovers out there for you. So they'll be in shop for you to check out.
Awesome.
For me, my big number 1 book to read this week, Greg Rucka, Michael Lark, Lazarus #1 from Image Comics.
Yeah.
It's not from one of the big 2. It's from maybe the big 3 or 4 there, depending on who you ask. Image and their titles have been hot over the last year, maybe 2 years, and they're just getting hotter. And Greg Rucka now is going to come at you without the editorial feedback. It's his story he wants to tell, and he's got one of the master craftsmen there on art with Michael Lark. So they teamed up on Gotham Central years ago at DC Comics, and they're back to give you more awesomeness in a book here. Story that revolves around the possession. Everything is possession.
Yeah.
And this one family has I don't know if you call her a member of the family. It's their means of making sure that they keep what is theirs. So it should be a different read, and it should be a really awesome read, because if there's one thing Greg Rucka knows how to write, it's women, and he is always good at giving us a fast-paced, intriguing, wonderful weaved web there with his stories.
Yeah, exactly. And what you were saying earlier, these creator-owned books from Image are like, to me, they're like the most exciting, but also the scariest kind of books to be picking up, because, as you said, there's no editorial filter.
Right.
So you're getting it straight from the writer's, the creator's brain to the page.
Right.
And it can be good or bad, but Greg Rucka has a proven track record of great stories. So I'm checking this one out. It's on my pull list. I'll be checking that out as well.
Definitely.
Michael Lark's killer too, and I like the concept. So
yeah, very cool concept. And along that lines, I think we also need to mention that Jupiter's Legacy #2 comes out. Mark Miller gave what I believe was one of the best comics he has written in years with his #1 issue, and we're getting #2 now. And we just finished talking about Michael Lark being this amazing artist. Well, now we're talking about
Frank Quitely
being another amazing artist.
Yes.
And I feel like he took a good story or a great story and just made it that much stronger with his art there. So this is kind of like a what happens when you have a Justice Society type team, the Golden Age character or heroes who stood for something, and they raise kind of brats or almost I'm fearing like an authority kind of group of kids, and so I think we're going to get to see more of those interactions. We got the introduction to all those characters now. Now we're going to get to the meat of the story.
Yeah, and that's I want that. And man, I think Frank Quitely just elevates it all. It just
He does.
Man, it just takes it to another level. It's just you can just reread the issue just for his artwork. It's awesome.
I know it. And the great thing is you can almost not have the words there. His art is that good at telling the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me what else you have here.
Also coming out this week, X-Men #2. Brian Wood with Olivier Coipel. I liked the first issue. I liked the concept. Jubilee, Storm, Rogue, all the Lady X-Men in the X-Women in the X-Men title. And actually, with the first issue, I wasn't real familiar with John Sublime coming out. I'd forgotten about him, to be honest with you, because it's been forever, I think, since it's been even addressed, to my knowledge. But now we see who the primary antagonist is at the end of the first issue. I love Olivier's art, so I'm definitely wanting to check this out and see where Wood is going to take this.
Right, and the like you said, the primary antagonist chose one of the worst possible bodies to inhabit there that the X-Men could have hoped for. You'd want maybe, oh, sorry, you chose the invalid or something like this. No, you put her in a weapon here of mass destruction, so it's going to be can I say it, a balls to the wall action story here that he's telling. And that's I've heard people online or read people online saying this is kind of harkening back to some Chris Claremont style action stories that he told of old with the X-Men. So very, very high praise with something like that, and I can't praise this book enough as well.
Yeah, totally.
So many good ones coming out. DC Comics, Vertigo Comics has The Wake #2. Again, Scott Snyder, this is him saying, he I think kind of tones it down a little bit when he is having to write one of the main DC heroes, and now he's back at his home there with Vertigo, and he can unleash, and that is what he did here in the first issue. gripping story that he told, and it was only enhanced again by Sean Murphy. And when Sean Murphy, I believe he is on the scene with other books, when he came on with Joe the Barbarian was where I became familiar with it. It was good, but was not the most impressive to me. And this right here, the two meshed so well, and told this story and gave you one that was a little bit terrifying, a little bit intriguing, real colorful cast of characters, and everything I could have hoped for with the book.
Yeah, it was great first issue to start off with. It this week is a huge Image Comics week, because Clone number 8 comes out. I'm totally digging the story, digging the art. I mean, it's just it's a consistently great read. I mean, it really is. I mean, with what's going on with the Luke, the primary clone,
right?
Or I don't want to spoil it. He's the main character. I may have already done that.
It's called a clone.
I mean, it's clone, but
clone.
We see what's happened now with the was it the vice president that didn't, he decided not to go forward with a bill to be passed, and now his family's in jeopardy, and this is all leading up to, what they're wanting to be able to do with this technology and with this research and everything, and it's really cool. I mean, as I mentioned before, it takes you from a deserted base camp out in the desert to all the way to the Senate floor, with everything that's going on, the intrigue, the political aspect of it all, the action adventure,
the real sci-fi element that they throw in there. And this is one of those books that I like what Image Comics does here. They are one of those that they don't have. This book does not have an established readership. It doesn't for decades. It doesn't have these characters that people have known for years and years here, so they can kill these characters. Nobody is safe. It's one of those things where Walking Dead gave us nobody's safe, and now kind of people are at this point, but because it's become established. But now this book is one of those where the wife, you don't know, Luke, our main character here, you really don't know here. He's a bit of an idiot when it comes to things, and people try telling him, hey, you got to be more careful, and he just isn't.
Exactly.
But I loved his decision he made at the end of this last issue here. You really felt he was going one way and went a totally different direction. It worked for this book. But I agree with you. So many good ones coming out from DC Comics or Image Comics, and along with that, Thief of Thieves number 15 is coming out. That right here is, if you want like the grand scale heist story, I think you're about to get that with this book, because you have our main character Conrad, who his son's taken hostage, and he's told, look, you're going to have to do something for us, get us a whole lot of money if you want to see your son alive. So Conrad has a huge heist that he was thinking about. Looks like he's going to pull it off, and he's recruited probably the least likely person I would have suspected, his ex-wife, to start out, or to help him out here. So we should start to see kind of an Ocean's 11 kind of heist story here.
Okay.
But it's going to be well told, because I believe this is Diggle that's the writer that's on board right now. So,
okay.
And speaking of Diggle's going to be coming out from Dynamite. Comics. You can tell them about it.
Uncanny number 1 by Andy Diggle, and I believe the artist is Aaron Campbell. This is from Dynamite Comics, about a guy who has the ability to, from what I understand, basically touch someone and absorb their abilities, their memories.
Right.
Kind of like Rogue of
kind
the
of
X-Men,
like Rogue.
maybe.
That's, well, when you were saying that, that's exactly what I was thinking.
But I think this is supposed to be more in a grounded reality base, not a superhero type universe thing. And so I'm wanting to check this out, because the story, the teasers that we get for it, the gentleman thinks that he's unique and he's the only one with this particular ability.
Right.
And the question is raised, is he really the only one that can do this? And so we're going to see. He's like a con man. He uses this stuff to go to casinos and make his money and make his killing, but someone's on his trail, and he may not be as unique as he thought he was.
Nobody told him great power, great responsibility.
Nobody did. No, he did not. Not the Dynamite universe.
No. I I've got my trio coming out this week here that I want to make the mention of real quickly because they are the best of the best from Marvel as far as I'm concerned. Avengers Arena is coming out. They're taking a little break here. They're going to talk about Hazmat and possibly her new love interest, Reptile.
Really?
So yeah, it's a little interlude that we get there. We also have FF number 8 coming out. That's the negative zone. You have the Fearsome 4 versus the FF, and it's all with Bentley 23's life on the line there. So you have Scott Lang, who lost his daughter, Cassie, a few years back when he came back to life. So you can he's going to do everything he can to save this child there because he doesn't want to lose another one.
Yeah.
And to round that out, we have Young Avengers number 6 coming out. Again, another kind of an interlude issue here where it's going to be focusing on Prodigy of the X-Men, or new X-Men, I guess. We haven't seen or heard from him in a long time, and he's not in any of these new X books. Well, he's apparently here, and we're also going to, the one I was thinking about that I didn't see and was kind of strange to have him missing, Speed, Wiccan's twin brother there. Yeah. So we're going to find out what's happening with these. Again, the 3, as far as I'm concerned, best books from Marvel Comics. They're on the shelves this week. They need to be in your stack, processing, taking out the door, and reading.
Let me add 2 things to what Randy just said. Avengers Arena, we're leading up to the final story arc for this season 1, which is, this story arc is called Boss Level, and we don't even know who's going to make it to that story arc yet.
Yeah.
So, and also, Young Avengers, man, that if you know someone that's like between 15 and 21, this is like ideal. I mean, this is like ideal. What, Kieran Gillen?
Like twice that, but I love this.
I mean, seriously, it's like the whole, you're mad at the first storyline. You hate your parents, they're acting like idiots, and he takes that whole concept and just elevates it. And Jamie McKelvey, I think it was issue number 3 where Marvel came into the club and saved them. Jamie McKelvey did this 2-page spread in that issue that was probably the best looking, funnest action sequence I've ever seen.
It was, but like the 5 pages with that included was hands down, I think, one of the best sequences they did, just with his introduction back onto Earth.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of others here that you've got coming out.
Actually, we're seeing the conclusion this week from Image Comics. Not that I'm trying to harp on them, but it's just a lot of stuff from them. 5 Weapons concludes this week. That's been a fun series by Jimmy Robinson, the guy who does Bomb Queen. I'm digging that series, and also Bounce number 2, Joe Casey, David Messina.
Right.
Issue number 1 was interesting, and I'm on board because it kind of had a twist at the end of it.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, where in the heck are we going? So
I went on a trip.
Exactly. Yeah, like literally. I think in every way you can think of.
Sure.
So yeah, those 2. Definitely check those out. Take a peek at them and see if they should be on your pull list.
I'm going to run through real quickly some of these that are some big ones to check out. Daredevil number 27. This is like the big issue. Everything that's been going on Mark Waid's run is kind of coming to a head right here. So everything Foggy's dealing with, everything Daredevil's dealing with, it's all right here. That's one of these must-read issues. Hawkeye number 11.
Okay. Yeah.
Pizza Dog. It is the dog's issue. This is going to rock. This is going to be different. I think you always had Straczynski wanting to tell that crypto story with Superman, and DC just quite wouldn't let him. He had to fight and fight and fight. You're getting it here with Pizza Dog. This is going to be awesome. Not Arrow. He refused to call the dog Arrow like it said on his tag.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got that. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy number 4. This is a Gamora issue here. Okay. So that's going to rock. A little side note, it has been shot down. Karen, whatever, she is not Angela. So
she's not going to be Angela.
Not going to happen. We also had the conclusion of Nova number 5. That is going to be Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness' last issue on the story arc there. It's just kind of the origin of Sam is ending, and we'll have Zeb Wells taking over as writer, good writer, with number 6. DC-wise, we have all the Justice League books are coming out. Justice League, and that's going to be the conclusion of the Shazam right there. So I think you're going to get Shazam all the way through the book.
Yeah.
You're going to see what Justice League's plans are for him. It's going to have Gary Frank art, I believe, so
nice.
Great art on the book. Justice League Dark and Justice League of America.
Yeah.
In Justice League of America, the intriguing part to most people is probably going to be this death that happened. What's going to happen after that? For me, a Stargirl fan, you know, here's someone that she was only supposed to be kind of the figurehead, the one that they put in front of the spotlight, and she's not feeling that. She's a little angry about that, and she's going to show that she's more than capable of, you know, being the superhero that she needs to be.
Exactly.
We have Larfleeze #1.
Right. There you go, Green Lantern.
You want to
fans.
tell them a little bit about Larfleeze?
Well, your favorite Orange Lantern is coming out with his own series, and you'll be lucky if you can have it.
It's all mine. I'm going to buy every issue of it.
Exactly. We do have some fans around here. They might get them all and keep them
right.
for themselves. So, in addition to the new creative teams that have been hitting the regular Lantern books, we got Larfleeze with his own solo series debuting this week. So, if you're a fan, I mean, apparently he has a lot of fans because they are giving him his own series.
Yeah.
So, check that out as well. The Orange Lantern of Jealousy is getting his own book.
Speaking of the new creative teams, Red Lanterns #21 comes out. That's going to be the final one of the Lantern books that has the new creative team. Is it Charles Soule that's going to be on this one? That's writing this one. This one I'm most interested in because it has, as far as I'm concerned, the best Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. Is going undercover into the Red Lanterns there. Dangerous mission. We'll see why he's going to undertake this mission.
Yeah.
What the plans are with it. But it's going to make for a good time with that.
Wrapping up for me, I mean, there's a ton of stuff, but wrapping up for me, last week we had Age of Ultron #10. Say what you want to say about that. But we do have Age of Ultron 10 AI coming out this week, which is like, I guess, an epilogue of the series leading up into the Avengers AI book that's coming out later this year, and hints a little bit toward the new Hunger coming out later this year as well.
Well, I think with this, one of the things is that after kind of Hank Pym sees what he was so responsible for and everything, that it's him questioning, you know, where's his place? Where does he belong? You know, what good is he? So this is going to be that issue that's going to kind of, like you said, bridge the gap, but it's going to have him answering that question or trying to answer that question. So he does that a lot, but he's doing it again.
Again, yeah. Status quo.
Yeah, he's about he whines and questions about as much as Peter Parker does. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just that's one of the things I often notice about Hank. And but I like after he does that, he really gets gung-ho about his decision that he makes and really gets into it. And I like that his character does that, and he doesn't just sit there and wallow forever.
Right.
But, you know, wallowing's half of what comic characters do. Without that wallowing, they wouldn't have a reason for putting on the pajamas and going out and fighting crime.
Making the world a better place.
Last for me, Unwritten #50 comes out. This is the start of the crossover story arc with Fables. And it's not, I say a crossover because they're going to be crossing over into the universe with the Fables characters, but it's not going to be a crossover that's going to be in both this book and the Fables book. Okay. Rumor has it that it's going to involve a very major character who everybody pretty much thought was dead in the Fables universe. Whether that pans out or not, we'll see here. But I'm excited about this one. And you're going to have Willingham and Buckingham both contributing to this story. So
cool.
Lots of creamy goodness this week.
Man, it is a huge week. Like I said, we didn't even really cover everything that we're excited about.
That's right.
We only have so much time. Otherwise, it'd be an hour-and-a-half video, and you'd really hate us then. But
yeah, Andrew, you would.
Look at you, Andrew.
Yeah, see if you get this message at the end.
Shout out to him. But hey, guys, that wraps it up for this week. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's going to be shelves full of awesome goodness for you to check out. Get on board. check out Image, man. Image is really putting out some
hot.
great stuff. I mean, it really is. So if you're tired or bored of like the big two, Marvel and DC, which I mean they do still have some good stuff out there, but if
They
you
have
want
great stuff out there.
yeah, if you want a taste of something different, check out Image, check out Dynamite. We got Uncanny coming out.
Right.
Dynamite's even getting into more of the creator-owned stuff,
Yes,
and this
they are.
Uncanny is an example of that.
Yes,
So.
they are.
Anyway, hey guys, if we've informed or entertained you, help someone find this by sharing and subscribing below. Share it Facebook, Twitter, email somebody.
Talk
Hey,
in the shop about it.
talk in the shop. Come in and talk to us.
In here, whatever shop you're at.
Exactly. And like I said, we are Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana. You can visit our website, www.ExcaliburCCG.com.
Don't forget about Texarkana too.
Yeah, we love those guys, but we're in Shreveport.
That's right.
Hey guys, that's it for this week. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.
Meow meow.